Hi, let's talk about the Wikipedia exercise. I had some difficulty finding the right example for this particular exercise. There are so many to choose from. After considerable thought, I decided to go ahead with Wikipedia, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Although it's not a traditional firm, Wikipedia has many firm-like qualities. For example, it has a large hierarchy of managers, although these managers are volunteers, not paid managers. Wikipedia is also a global brand that's well known. It launches several new offerings every single day. Wikipedia itself was launched in 2001 with the goal of containing and collecting the world's entire body of knowledge. So instead of having a traditional encyclopedia, which was written traditionally by professors or scientists, to create an online encyclopedia that was written by all of us, by everybody. Since that time, it's been a success story, unquestioned. Today, Wikipedia has over 34 million entries across over 200 different languages. I didn't even know there were 200 languages in the world. In terms of actual knowledge, Wikipedia has as much information as 15,000 volumes of an encyclopedia. That's a lot of information. Wikipedia is also one of the world's top 10 most visited websites, with over 500 million visitors every single month. That's impressive. Here at the University of Illinois, almost every student uses Wikipedia, at least at some point in their educational experience. In fact, I use Wikipedia to prepare for this exercise myself. Now, with this background, let's go ahead and talk about how to do this exercise. First of all, go to your internet browser. In this case, I happen to be in Firefox. And just type in Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Go to the link. And what you'll see here on this home page, there's a variety of different languages. It has the more popular languages listed here around the Wikipedia globe. If your language is not listed, you can simply type the language in here or use the pull-down menu. In this case, since I speak English, I'll go ahead and hit the English page. All right. And here you have the home page of Wikipedia. The next thing you have to do is think about a topic that you want to contribute knowledge to. What I would recommend, because Wikipedia is quite mature with 34 million entries, it's going to be hard to find a topic that hasn't been covered. So what I would recommend is that you, rather than creating a new topic, go ahead and add knowledge to an existing topic to enhance it. So you can go to the search box and enter in a topic that interests you. So for example, I'm going to enter in the name of my hometown. I was raised in a town called Farmington, Connecticut. And it's a town that I lived in for over 20 years, so I have some knowledge of. So let me see if I can contribute some knowledge to the entry from my hometown. So in the search box here on the upper right, I simply type in Farmington, and then CT for Connecticut. And here I see the entry on the top. Right. And this has some information about the town, its history. Right. Some more information about the institutions, art museums, and so forth in the town, hospitals. Entry about geography, some demographic information, information about the economy, famous places, educational institutions, and notable people. And I want to point out that I am not on this list. All right, so actually I had made an entry to this website some time ago, and I want to do is go back and enhance my entry. But before I go ahead, I want to point out one additional feature of Wikipedia that you may want to consider. It's not required, but you may want to consider actually creating an account if you don't have one, and to log in when you make your entry. And the benefit of that is, if, as we'll see shortly, that Wikipedia captures captures a log of all entries. And the page managers, every page has a page manager at some level, will oftentimes look at these entries and are more likely to approve and not change entries that have an actual username rather than an anonymous IP address. So I'm going, since I want my entry to be preserved, I'm going to go ahead and log in. I've created an account earlier. If you don't have a Wikipedia account, you can hit Join Wikipedia and create an account. It's very easy. You just need an authorized email address. Here I have my username. I'm going to enter my password. So I'll log in. Okay. So I'm now logged in, and the login shows right up here with my username. Now, once you decide on which Wikipedia page, which entry you'd like to create edits for, as a first step, you should take a look at this tab on the upper right, the View History tab. And this tab will give you a listing of changes made. Right? And so you have a number of information here, such as the time and the date in which the change was made, the IP address or username of the individual making the change, and there's more information about the change itself and what happened to it. So here you'll see actual edits that were made and that were changed by another user or a system administrator for the page. So even though an entry may not be reflected on the page, perhaps someone tried to make an entry and it was rejected. So this will give you a sense of what has been allowed in the past, what has been rejected, and something good to look at before you make your particular entry. So once you look at the revision history, then you can actually go to the page, and you have next to it an Edit tab. Right. Edit tab here. And once you see the Edit tab, you'll notice that it looks quite different than the regular Wikipedia page. So just to show you the contrast, I'll go to the Read page. And this is what Wikipedia looks like normally, what we're used to seeing. Right? Then once you go to the Edit page, right, you're actually into the coding, the HTML type of entry. So you can scroll down. You have some entries that help guide you to where you're at. Right? And so I am interested in actually editing the geography portion. So one of my hobbies is rock climbing. So I'm going to go into the Wikipedia page and make some entries into the passage that I edited earlier about rock climbing spots in the Connecticut area. Right. So I'm going to take off my glasses so I can read this small text. And scrolling down, and we have geography right here. And it's a few paragraphs. And I'm going to talk here about the climbing areas. Right. So here in this entry I made earlier, I talk about a number of climbing areas, right? And that it's in a book that references those climbing areas. So what I'm going to do now is simply go in and provide some actual names. So I don't talk about the names of the areas, the actual names. So several rock walls and chimneys, so for technical climbing, in places such as Pinnacle Rock and the Green Wall. And these are two known places for rock climbing in the Farmington area. Right. So I've go ahead. I've made those changes. This entry right here. Right. Then I'm going to, at the bottom, hit Save Page. You can also do a preview if you'd like. I'm just going to save that entry. Right. And then it takes me back, once I save, back to the Read tab. And let me just go down and make sure that the entry that I made is indeed there. I haven't made a typographical mistake. So down to Geography. And let's see. Oh, here it is. Places such as Pinnacle Rock and the Green Wall. So it's that easy. I've updated the Farmington, Connecticut Wikipedia entry. Now, I didn't need to log in to do that. You don't need to create an account or log in. You can edit this without taking that step. But I'm hoping that by logging in, that having a name there rather than just a anonymous IP address, that the page administrator is more likely to keep my edits. So I'm going to check back in about a day or so and see if those edits are still there. And perhaps you can check this web page as well to see if it's still there when you take the course. So that's what you need to do. Find a topic that you have interest in, make your entry, and then I could go back, just like I'm going to do, in 24 hours and to see what happened to it. Okay? So let's talk about the exercise itself in terms of beyond just doing the exercise, what you need to do to get credit for it. There are 4 things I'd like you to do. First of all, record your Wikipedia entry, the name of the page that you edited. It would also be nice if you could cut and paste the URL into the location on the course webpage. Number 2, talk a bit about why you picked this particular topic versus any of the other 34 million possible entries. I picked this because I grew up in Farmington and I happen to know a lot about the town and I like living there. Third, talk a bit about what happened to the contribution. Again, go back 24 hours later and what happened to your contribution. Was it still there? Was it taken down? Did you receive any sort of, if you have an email account that you've entered, a login account, did you receive a message from a page administrator asking you about your entry? What happened? And finally, what did you learn about user-generated content from this particular exercise? What did you learn also about Wikipedia? Do you have a different opinion about Wikipedia than you had before you did this exercise? If you're like many of our students, you've used Wikipedia many times in the past, but this will be your first time actually contributing to Wikipedia as a user. I look forward to seeing your entries and hearing what you learned from this exercise.